2 years ago, I started as a dairy grazing apprentice at Wolf's Neck Center for Agriculture and the Environment. And I basically went from knowing nothing about the industry to raising 3 of my own beef cows and selling them for a profit this past summer. And now I'm living with my parents. But in 90 days, we'll be going to Nebraska to work with a legendary dairyman, Ben Gottschall. In that 90 days, I'm gonna have to read 30 books, build a tiny house, gain 15 pounds of muscle, and document the entire journey. Let me give you guys a little bit more context. I learned a ton from this apprenticeship, but if you want to know about Jersey cows, you got to work for Ben Gottschall. And so I want to farm, but basically I just need to go through that next training, kind of like when Beatrice went up to the mountains to work with Pai Mei. I basically just need to do that to round out my training before I actually go into the dairy industry and start making it on my own. I can't go to Nebraska right now because it's cold as there, and he's a seasonal operation, so there's no cows to milk anyway. So I'm gonna head there in March, but I basically have 90 days in between now and March 1st to kind of outfit myself out for success. And one of the things that I'm doing right now is actually working carpentry 4 days a week, and that will directly come in handy when I am building my own tiny home to live out on the Nebraska sand hills. Additionally, I have challenged myself to read basically every single book possible related to grass-fed dairy and beef production. And so right now I have 30 books. As you can see, there is quite a lot of books here, ranging from stoic philosophy to managed intensive grazing, for everybody from Joe Salatin to Greg Judy, all those great people, Allan Nation, all of them. So I have 30 books that I have to read in 90 days. So 2 books per week, and then also we will be doing a book report in each one of those books so we can compile all of that knowledge into one space. And I feel like it'll actually give proof that I read these books. Additionally, another thing that we will be doing within this 90 days is building a tiny home. What I want to do is take an enclosed trailer and basically outfit it out. Enclosed trailer is probably like $2,500. Maybe we can find one on Facebook Marketplace for a little bit cheaper. But basically take that enclosed trailer, tow it by my truck out to Nebraska. But first we have to actually build the insides, which will include a composting toilet, a bed, maybe a fridge, maybe a stove, maybe a sink, and a heater, all those things. And I'm going to use all the carpentry skills and maybe some tools from work in order to build out this tiny home. So while I'm not reading books, I will be building. Additionally, one other thing that I've always wanted to do is gain 15 pounds of muscle. So since I am at my parents' house, I do have access to a gym that's not too far away. I will be documenting kind of my fitness journey and basically eating enough food, stuffing my face every single day in order to gain that 15 pounds of muscle before I leave on March 1st. So one weakness about the apprenticeship that I did, it was a 2-year program, federally recognized, the only federally recognized agricultural program, agricultural apprenticeship in the country, and I would highly recommend it to anybody. However, one thing that I did not really learn was the business aspect of running a dairy. Very important. I learned how to doctor cows. I learned how to graze them. However, I did not really learn what it means to actually run a business. We had some aspects of it, basically, like we were able to look at the budget and, make our best guess about what we need to do. However, I will be attempting in these books to actually make a budget for the company that I did found last year. Right now, we made a profit last year, but we really didn't put in that much money. And I really want to expand it out, potentially ask some people if they do want to invest. And I also want to document that entire journey as well. I think that would be pretty interesting. So why am I even filming this, right? First off, I've always wanted to make videos like this for my entire life. I have been doing it for pretty long time I've been just uploading stuff, and I always felt like I can produce higher quality videos, and I've always wanted to. And I feel like I'm in a good time in my life. I'm in a transition period from working a full-time job to working only 4 days a week and having a stable place to live and all that kind of stuff. And I also just want to document the journey of the transition phase, because a lot of people go and they get trained in agriculture, they do an apprenticeship or something like that, and then they kind of just are expected to start their own farm. Usually that doesn't happen. Usually people just don't start their own farm. They actually go into a management role or something like that. That is the more realistic thing. Usually, I mean, unless you are just going to jump right into it and have no fear, which, you know, people have done that before and been successful, so power to if you do that. But I feel like this is a very interesting time where you can kind of build up these skills, document the entire journey, and then actually leave March 1st. We're actually going to leave March 1st, whether we're prepared or not, and we're going to go into Nebraska, and we're going to hopefully have an amazing experience and hopefully be humbled. Hopefully be humbled and learn so much and be forced to grow in this completely alien environment of the Nebraska sandhills. And also, if I do film this and somehow it gets some traction, or even if it doesn't, right? It'll just keep me accountable to stick to my goals, because right now I have a tight time frame. I have many things to accomplish, and I feel like adding the filming aspect of it and trying to post every single week a high quality video will push me to actually be accountable for my goals. And picture this. Picture this. We complete all these goals in 90 days, and then we go to Nebraska. And then you guys can come with me to Nebraska, and that's just the start of the journey. So the pre-journey is the build up, the discipline, and all that kind of stuff. And then we actually go to Nebraska. Maybe we buy some cows. Maybe we start grazing other people's cows for them. But at the end of the day, we're going to see an absolutely amazing, beautiful environment with buffalo and really amazing Jersey cows. And we'll be able to document that entire journey as well. If you stumble upon this video somehow, it's recommended to you, basically leave me a comment about what I can do to achieve these goals. If you have any recommendations about certain strategies or anything like that. Also, during this whole process, you guys can tell me what I am messing up, what I'm doing right, all that kind of stuff. I'm open to it. Leave the comments on. And yeah, I'm excited for this, and hopefully we can do this all together, because I'm going to need as much help as I possibly can get. So thank you guys for listening, and this is day 1.